Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a co-ople of nerds. And today we are coming at you with some horror movies from different eras.
That's right. So I break horror movies currently into 4 eras. We got the 30s and 40s, which is your black and white classic era. You got the 50s and 60s, which is more of like the alien invader, atomic age. It was right after the bombing in Japan. I think a lot of the movies kind of went more sci-fi in that era. The golden era, which is the 70s and 80s. So there you get all your classics there.
Oh yeah.
And then currently it's set as the modern era, which is 90s through today. But that era may need to get divided up at some point in time.
Eventually.
You know.
But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And I'm not being a party pooper. I'm too fat for my costume. Tear.
This isn't even really my costume. This is our daughter's hat.
I can't help it that you got a little head.
Lots of brains in there, though.
No, that's why my head's so big, to hold all the massive brains.
Okay.
So we wanted to get through our backlog and decided, we typically watch every Halloween. We watch one horror movie from every era, sometimes 2. Lately it's only been 1 because we got too many daggone kids. But and so we thought, well, we'll do exclusive to our backlog, bang out for movie reviews.
Right.
All right, so let's get started.
So our first black and white classic movie is
White Zombie.
Haiti, land of the voodoo, comes the most infamous cult of all. Bela Lugosi as Murder Legendre,
I see death.
master of the undead damned, the sinister power behind the White Zombie.
with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, 1932. He made Dracula in 31, so he was hot commodity. This is the first feature-length zombie film.
Yes.
Which is very, very cool. It's not your traditional zombies. These are more brainwashed slaves. So he's got Bela Lugosi can turn people into these zombies, and they work his factory for him. I'm sure he doesn't pay them very well.
Yeah, they're servants.
They do crimes for him, kidnapping and intimidation. And basically the story of this movie is we got a newlywed couple that went to Haiti to get married. And for whatever reason, her ex-lover is there. I'm not sure if they fully got into that. And he is still in love with her. He wants her back. So he hires Bela Lugosi's character to turn her into a zombie to get back with her. Turns out, you turn a girl to a zombie, she's not the same.
Lame.
She doesn't have the same laugh. She doesn't enjoy wine and food like she used to.
Well, she's dead.
And then
She just kind of stares off into space.
yeah, he asks Bela to turn her back, and evil ensues. We'll cut it off there because I don't want to get to spoiler territory. This movie is
That's a good movie.
72 minutes, I think.
That's not very long.
These old school movies, it's like
I do
just
love
a
all of the
little over
Bela
an hour.
Lugosi movies, though.
Mhm.
He's good. He's really good. And he doesn't even have that many lines because he didn't know that much English, I guess, at first.
Right, yeah. So he was Hungarian, I believe, and would just memorize the words in English for his lines. So he didn't know what he was saying, which is pretty crazy to think about an actor not knowing what you're saying. Like, how do you emote and not know what you're talking about? But so we decided to put all of our movies into our 3 categories, tweaked them a little bit. So buy means it's so great you need to run out to the video store and pick up a copy. Rent, it's kind of a dated term now, so maybe this should be stream.
Yeah, stream it.
Because you're not going to be able to rent a movie from the 30s.
One of these movies, though, I don't know if you could... Yeah, you couldn't rent it, and I don't know if you could stream it. You might be forced into buying it.
Yeah, well, sometimes on Amazon, you can, like Prime, you just search a movie, and it could be super old,
yeah,
and
you
it'll
could
just say
pay.
rent for $3 or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And then stay away means leave the store for someone else to get. And for us, White Zombie is a rent. It's a lot of fun, but once you know the story,
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't have enough to it to feel like you need to watch it again because you might have missed something.
Right. No, it's pretty straightforward.
straightforward.
And this is where Rob Zombie got the name for his band, White Zombie. Little tidbits. You want to do the next one?
So the next one is The Day the Earth Stood Still.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea. A large object traveling at supersonic speed is headed over the North Atlantic toward the east coast of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Pearson. We bring you this special radio television broadcast in order to give you the very latest information on an amazing phenomenon, the arrival of a space ship in Washington. The Army has taken every precaution to meet any emergency which may develop. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think something is happening.
This is from our atomic sci-fi era, which is the 60s to 70s.
50s and 60s.
50s and 60s and 70s. And
No
this
70s.
movie actually was... no 70s?
70s is golden.
Oh, 70s is gold. Okay, sorry.
You got Halloween. You got Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first Halloween was 79.
We do need to keep that one completely separate. That's a very good era.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was remade back in 2008, I believe.
Right.
With Keanu Reeves, which we have not seen that version yet. I'm really curious to see what that version would look like, though, now with all the advances in CGI and everything.
Right.
And just how they would turn the story around. But the story of this is an alien spaceship lands in Washington, D.C. An alien comes off, and he's like, I need to talk to all the leaders of the world. I need to talk to everybody.
Once.
At one time.
In the same room.
Right. And, of course, the president's representative is like, this isn't going to be possible. I mean,
Right.
Russia
This
hates
is the
us.
middle of the Cold War.
Yeah. Russia's not going to be a fan of that. And so they still call Russia anyways. Because the guy's like, this is a matter of life and death for the whole planet. And Russia's like, well, okay, we'll do a meeting if you do it here in Russia. And then the U.S. is like, no, we'll only do a meeting here in the U.S. And so, of course, there's all this issue with trying to get this meeting set up. And in the meantime, the alien dresses like a human, which he is. He looks like a human. He's,
Right, yeah.
and he stays with a woman and her son. And
It's kind of like a hotel, because there's other
yeah, I feel like there's other
rooms and stuff there, too.
maybe like almost like an
Airbnb.
Yeah, like a bed and breakfast maybe. And of course he forms a relationship with the boy, which is great. And so then he starts to also kind of form a relationship with the mom, and he eventually tells her what he needs to tell to the whole planet. But it's top secret that he can't say it out loud until everybody is all together in one place. And his life depends on it at some point. So I think eventually, they get all the world leaders in one place at the end, and they get most of them. Yeah, there were.
They got scientists together.
Was it
the
scientists?
world leaders were fused.
So no world leaders, it was just scientists at the end? Okay, because I knew that there was representation from all the countries of the world.
Right, scientists from all over the
Okay.
world. So this movie is big on science over politics, which I think would have been a common thing in anti-Cold War, thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's think about the science and let's not think about politics.
Yeah. And then, of course, they talk about how their planet has much more advanced technology than ours.
Yeah, the special effects on the spaceship are really cool. The robot is kind of, it's a dude in a suit.
But still, for the time period, there's a part that happens several times where, like, there's a ramp that forms outside of the spaceship, and it's really smooth and it's electronic for sure. It's like they did a really good job with that. And then the lighting inside the spaceship, how he does this thing where he just hovers his hand above it, and then the lights go off, and it's like it looks really good.
This is motion sensors. We got
Yeah,
those.
we had those, but did they at that time?
I don't know. So this movie is preserved in the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
It won the Golden Globe in 1951. So it's got a lot of praise. For us, The Day the Earth Stood Still is a buy. We really enjoyed this one.
It's a classic.
This makes me want to watch the remake to see. I'll probably still like the old school one better, but that's just me. Yeah. I just think it'd be interesting to see Keanu Reeves play like out of this world alien. Like normally, I guess he kind of did in Matrix a little bit.
No, I know he was a human. He was just a
but
human
like
that woke up.
out of this world, or a foreigner in a strange land. Being in the.
I really like Keanu Reeves, so I'd be really excited to see it.
I don't have anything against Keanu Reeves. I don't know if I've ever seen him play a role like that before.
Yeah.
Typically, when I think of Keanu Reeves, I think of John Wick or, Point Break, Speed, kind of the action star, and not necessarily the fish out of water.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, up next, from the golden era, 70s and 80s, Silver Bullet.
I gotta talk to you.
You won't let go of it, will you?
I saw what I saw.
Psychotics are more active when the moon is full. And this guy's a psycho. When they catch him, you're gonna find out he's just as human as you and me. You have got to get this idea out of your head. There are no such things as werewolves.
This is a 1985 Stephen King. He actually wrote the novel and they adopted this into the movie. This is a basically your classic who's the werewolf story. A werewolf is killing people. Some of the kills were pretty cool. I thought the opening kill was probably one of the best, where the guy gets his head ripped off.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. They get less expensive as the movie goes. Lots of scratching motions, and then then they stop and you see scratch blood marks.
I will say this, though. The transformation scene wasn't great, typically. But it was kind of cool at parts, especially where it showed like the hair when he transforms back into a human, and the hair goes back in, which I'm assuming this is just like reverse. Yeah, reverse filming, whatever. But it was kind of a cool effect. Right. I thought that I remember watching that and be like, wow, for that time, like that was decently impressive.
So the problem is this movie is 4 years older than American Werewolf in London, and that transformation scene is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. This is more like the Wolfman transformation scene, where they kind of just do trick photography and slowly put on makeup and film it. So basically the town is trying to figure out who's killing all these people. Yeah. There is a handicapped kid in a wheelchair, and his uncle basically made him a motorcycle
Yeah, it's so cool.
Or I guess at first it was kind of like a scooter, and then it became just like a full-blown...
Yeah, it's a gas-powered wheelchair.
Right. Full-blown wheelchair motorcycle. And it is called Silver Bullet. And so that's kind of where, double entendre. But the screenplay was bad. I always try to be a little positive. That dialogue is just, it's bad. Stephen King actually wanted the werewolf to look plain and simple and slim, and it kind of looks more like a bear and not wolf.
He does look a lot like a bear.
It's not on all fours. It's always standing upright, humanoid. I think that was a really bad piece of direction from Stephen King. I mean, we all know Stephen King's a great writer. Maybe he hadn't had his movie chops under him at this point.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
But, so yeah, it does star a young, I would say still handsome Gary Busey.
Yeah.
He looked alright. Didn't have the big fake teeth yet, and didn't look completely crazy. His character was a little crazy, so I think that kind of helped.
Yeah.
So for us, Silver Bullet is a stay away. I know this movie's kind of become a cult classic for some of its cheesiness, and I can appreciate a cheesy horror movie, but I want to watch them once, and I want to be done with it.
And this one, I kind of feel like I lost a little time in my life.
Yeah, this one, it's like, if you're going to have cheesy dialogue and cheesy characters and a cheesy plot line, have really cool special effects.
Or something.
Or have a really unique story. I mean, we've all seen 100 Werewolf, Who Is It? Movies. Which is weird, because this is my favorite era of horror movies.
It is.
And that one struck out. If I see a horror movie from the 70s or 80s, and I've never heard anything about it, I just buy it. And normally I'm happy. That one I wasn't.
No.
Okay. Ready?
This last one is Lights Out.
Every time I turn off the lights, there's this woman waiting in the shadows.
I see her too. Each one of us is being haunted by this thing.
Mom?
Hey, Martin, what's up? Did we wake you?
What?
So this is, of course, the modern era. This is a film about
2016.
2016. That's still new. It's 5 years ago.
Yeah, the biggest actor I found was Teresa Palmer.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how. And the director from The Conjuring also did this.
Okay. So of course, The Conjuring is
two.
phenomenal. So this is a story about a little boy and his older sister. The little boy is having troubles with their mother. The older sister's already moved out, and he keeps having trouble with his mother. And their father, at the very beginning of the movie, is killed, and we don't know what.
No, oh, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. And so then, as the movie progresses, this little boy keeps saying that he's seeing things, and people don't believe him. And then eventually, they look into it and find out that there's this demon that's only visible in the dark. That his mother, I guess, was befriended in an institution when she was younger, and they did some sort of experiment on her.
Right. So she had a skin condition where she was either allergic to the sun or couldn't be in the sun or whatever, and they tried to get her out of it by shining super bright, basically tanning bed lights, UV lights on her, and the experiment did not go well.
So this movie, there are not a lot of movies that I feel like are worthy of scaring me. This movie was terrifying. I thought it was terrifying.
This movie right out of the gate was just like full blast. Mary's literally watching it like this. I'm not even joking. If you think I'm joking, I'm not. Like literally.
It was really scary.
So this movie does that trick where a character will walk into a dark room, see a shadowy figure, turn on the lights, the shadowy figure goes away. Mm-hmm. So they shut back off the lights, they see it again, and
of course it's closer. Every time they turn the light off, it's like closer.
Flicker, and it keeps getting closer, which is a really scary. I mean, they have that on YouTube and Facebook and all the little people doing that. It's a super scary effect. I would say
the creature is also terrifying looking too.
Yeah, the creature is really terrifying. It's another humanoid that did the long, wet hair look that was made popular by The Ring. Really long nails, sort of like a Lady Deathstrike kind of look.
Glowing eyes.
Yeah, glowing eyes. And I would say though that whole lights on, lights off trick,
it's very
the
scary. First
5 times you see it, you're really scared. Then like time number 10, you're like, all right.
I was still scared.
I know what's gonna happen.
I was still scared.
One thing about this, and this might be part of when I break up this modern era into 2. I'll have to try to figure out the dates on it. This is one of those movies that made 30 times its budget at the box office.
So it made money.
Made a lot of money. This movie was made dirt cheap.
Because I feel like I've never heard of it until we got it in horror pack, right?
Right. We got this in horror pack.
Maybe I'm just too far out of the loop.
I think we just don't watch enough TV.
We
just watch Cars, Frozen, and right now Nightmare Before Christmas. That's it. That's all we watch. And Barbies. We don't see a whole lot of commercials for movies. And then we haven't been to the movies in
2 years.
2 years, so we don't get to see previews there either.
Yeah.
But so last one for us, Lights Out is a buy. This movie was a blast. Super scary. I look forward to multiple rewatchings, which is absolutely horrible for me because I never get to do that. But I look forward to like really watching that on-off stuff to see like, because you're kind of hyper focused on the shadow creature and the shadow creature not there. But is there something else, like another clue to the side?
Then you're constantly scared. Then you're constantly scared that she's going to show up, and there are scenes where she doesn't.
Right.
And you're just like, she's going to be there. She's going to be there.
They'll walk into the bedroom, turn off the light to go to bed, and you keep thinking like, as soon as they flick it off, she's going to be like right in the camera, and sometimes she is, sometimes she's not. So these types of hidden movement movies, Paranormal Activity did a lot of this. I like to look at the background because sometimes they'll put in like just teeny tiny little clues, like a towel falling. But since you're so focused on where the creature was or where you think it is, you don't see these little things. And I think this movie would be a good candidate to go through and really watch it.
Yeah, if you want to be scared for Halloween.
Yes.
Watch this one.
Yes. Or if you want to see your wife trying to chew through her own teeth.
I had fun by being scared.
Yeah. That was good. I mean, that was definitely the scariest of the 4.
Yeah, I would say that
what's the second scariest?
Silver Bullet was the second scariest, and then White Zombie, and then The Day the Earth Stood Still. The Day the Earth Stood Still was more sci-fi and not really scary.
Yeah, but a lot of those horror movies, it was all, it's championed by Godzilla, where what man is doing to the environment, what's the repercussions, or space travel is
right.
So
I love a good sci-fi movie, but it just doesn't. It's not scary.
Yeah, the robot could have been a little scary. He his beam was a little weak. It kind of just made things glow and then disappear.
Well, yeah. Well, he was like this hood would come up over his eyes and the beam would come out.
Right.
It was good for what they could do at that time. Again, I'm really excited to see the newer one.
Right, and then White Zombie had the typical classic horror, where it's more about the environment and the sets, really beautiful sets, and kind of that dark.
There was a
eeriness.
zombie on there who was truly terrifying, though.
Yeah, I had one guy.
This guy played it good, and he's on the back of the cover, so he did a very good job actually being scary.
Yeah, not being scary while not saying a word and typically not moving is really tough to do. Well, let us know in the comments section if you've seen these movies, or and let us know what you thought of them, or if any of these sound good to you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
I see you wore your traditional outfit.
Yes. And then when I'm dead, at my funeral, they'll say, "Ding dong, the witch is dead, the wicked witch is the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is..." And I won't care because I'll be dead.
Nestle Pure Life, hit me up.
Nestle Pure Life is very good water.
It's not too bad.
And it's just up the road from us.
It is?
Well, the Nestle plant is. I don't know if they do the water there.
Oh, yeah, the chocolate plant.
Is it chocolate? I don't know.
Well,
it's just Nestle.
It's got the big chocolate click bunny on it, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, that's what represents Nestle. I just figured that doesn't mean they don't do the water there.
I don't know.